Hi, welcome to our channel Czech Globe. Today we'll talk about the possible solutions for climate change. Let's begin. Before that, we talked mainly about these policy or technology-related solutions, but what can you do as an individual to actually fight climate change in your little own way?
So my favorite analogy is similar to COVID response, right? So it was different crises. It was crisis related to epidemics, pandemics, and we needed to deal with it globally as well as individually, right? So there's this question of policies versus individuals, and COVID is a good example actually. I would say, and we were talking about this before, right? We need some government, some legislation, some global activities. The same with COVID, right? So it would be impossible to stop pandemics without top-down approach, without these policies from the governments, from the institutions, and then individuals were able to somehow exist and still be part of the solution, right? But they needed the guidelines, right? So in terms of COVID, there were these lockdowns and restrictions and masks and social distancing, and you could work from home where possible and so on. And so this was this individual level. People behave differently. People did different things during pandemics, apparently, than normally. They stopped flying, right? But these were just transition, like 2 years or maybe some countries less, some countries more. So it was just a transition period, and we knew we go back to usual, right? But the same with climate change, same and not the same. Same in a way that we need these global incentives. That is, I can behave totally responsibly. I can stop eating meat. I can eat just being vegan, and I can stop flying. I can stop going to holidays by plane. I can stop driving. I can just use bike and drive, which is I do that as well, right? I try to do these things to a certain degree. You can insulate your house, you can reduce, or where you live, you can reduce, and this is also being done, right? Even with support from governments, this insulating your house, and you can reduce your energy consumption by half, so your emission goes down. You can change your gas supplier to switch it to renewable electricity, to green supply. You can put solar panels or energy on your roof if you have a roof. So you can do a lot of things, and they make sense, and they are important, and they are needed, and they are necessary, and a lot of people do that. But the thing is that if there is no global action, it's the same with pandemics. If I'm one of the 100 people wearing a mask and not going to work. Not to say that if there is no lockdown and I stop going to work, that wouldn't be possible, right? Because other people would be going to work. So you need a system that helps you to solve the climate issue. But it's not really, I would say, it's not really at a required level that was during pandemics, or what is required for fulfilling this 1.5 to 2 degrees, the Paris Agreement, basically. So it's not enough, right? So yes, individual level, all I said it's good, but people will not doing it on a required level if there is no. For instance, right? I live in Brno, and I travel to work by. I need to travel, let's say, 20 kilometers. I can use bike, right? But it's not that easy, and I'm not rewarded for using bike, right? So because everyone uses car apparently, so it's not really that easy. If everyone was forced to use bike, for instance, driving 20 kilometers to work, then it's different situation, right? So this is just one example. So we need much better support, for instance, for transportation within cities. Again, some cities are doing that, some more 99% cities not, right? Not enough. So I would say we really need crisis approach at the government level or at the institutional level in order for individuals to be able to behave successfully with low carbon behavior. As I see it as now, we don't have systemic approach or crisis systemic approach management towards climate. So we have basically everybody's on its own, which would be, if we do this the same with pandemics, then there is no mitigation, right? Then few people would wear a mask, nobody would, stop working or would work from home, nobody would stop traveling. I mean, nobody, like most people wouldn't stop doing that, right? So that's the analogy. And at one hand, on the other hand, we can see that we are not doing what's needed.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming and sharing your experiences and knowledge. It was really interesting to hear. So.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.